phone silent.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Hello. My name's Colin Steven. I'm the editor of Knowledge Magazine, and welcome to a new series of video interviews that we're going to be doing. I'm delighted to be joined for the first one by a man who's one of the pioneers of the sound. Somebody who's been there since Day.An before, who's run one of the most influential labels in drum and bass since 1993, V Recordings. One of the keenest ears for a tune in the business, the one and only Bryan Gee. Welcome, Bryan.
Yeah, well, glad to be here, man, and hope everyone's looking after themselves, keeping safe, and yeah, how you doing, Colin? Hope you're okay as well.
Yeah, thanks. I mean,
I missed you at your party, man. Damn.
I know. You, as I was saying, you played at our 25th anniversary party, and I wasn't even there. Can you believe that?
It was a nice party. It was great.
Yeah, so I heard. I mean, let's straight away. I mean, there's only one thing to talk about at the moment. I mean, it's a strange time, isn't it? I mean, what do you make of it all?
You know, it's surreal, and you know, I've got to be honest. I really, when this whole thing kicked in, you get what I'm saying. You know, I was almost near breaking point. You get what I'm saying, and I was just like watching the news, and I was on Sky News to CNN to BBC News to Twitter to anything, just lapping up information, and it made me want to jump out my window and just like finish my just like think this is all over. You get what I'm saying? And for the last 3 days, we've been on a media ban in my house anyway. You get what I'm saying? So I haven't seen no news, nothing about the C word. You get what I'm saying? I've blocked it completely out of my everything. So and it's really made me, because as I said to a few friends, because I've advised this as well, and I've said there's nothing at the moment that we can control what's going on out there. I've got no idea what's going on out there. I don't really care about all the conspiracies because it's there now. So I don't care who started it or who made it or what food it came from or whatever. I don't really care. All I care about is when can this be over? Can we find a cure, a virus to kill it, a vaccine or something, and how we're going to get through this. And for me, mentally, to get through this, I've had to completely block it all off. I mean, someone had to phone me a few days ago and said to me, the Prime Minister had it, because I didn't know. Because I was just watching the news and all I kept hearing was numbers rising, and tomorrow it's going to be double, and then the day after that it's going to be double. And I was seeing pictures of Italy and Spain, and we're 3-4 days behind that, and it's scary. And a couple of weeks ago, I'm just thinking, oh, life was just completely normal.
Yeah.
And, in the whole of my life, I've never ever seen something that has completely shut down the whole world. And it's scary. We've seen Ebola, and we've seen SARS, and we've seen all these flus and things, disease, and we've watched from afar. And we've always thought that it's just something that's going on over there and it's not going to affect us. Or this is something that has just attacked the whole world in such a way where the whole world has completely stopped.
Yeah.
And it's very scary because we don't know when this is going to end, what's behind it, and we don't know what to believe out there. And so we're all in the dark at the moment. It kind of just reminds me of the Top Buzz tune at the moment. The first thing I kept thinking I was living in darkness. And I was thinking, wow, you get what I'm saying? Because that sums up exactly where we're at right now. We're living in complete darkness.
Yeah.
So like I was saying, for the last 3-4 days, it's just been strictly Netflix, or it's just like box sets, old sports reruns of classic matches. And I've been really just getting my head down with a lot of music and stuff. You get what I'm saying? It's come at a time where with the label, it's like we're really busy at V at the moment. You get what I'm saying? On all fronts, V, Liquid V, Chronic, and soon to be Philly Blunt as well. So we're busy on all fronts. So I've just tried to just dive my head into that completely and just continue. Like on in the normal time, I spend a lot of time at home. I work from home. So I'm kind of used to lockdown or whatever you want to call it. You get what I'm saying? You know, I'm kind of used to it because I can get up and I can just like do my work at home, stay indoors. And yeah, of course, normally you go out or whatever, but it's not so far away, you know. It's only like the weekends come now. And, you know, which weirdly enough, I'm not getting that sort of, I need to go out Saturday night. Oh, it's Saturday night. And I haven't got that yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm dealing with it, dealing with Saturday night not being able to go out because I think I've made it up in my head already. And I've decided in my head already that this is going to be for a long while.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I've kind of got that. Yeah, so I've kind of got the, oh God, this is Saturday night, I'm not playing now. I've kind of, which is hard because I love DJing and I love going out and partying and all that, but I've managed to so far. I mean, it's early days, so
I know, there's a long way to go.
and I'll be going crazy, you know what I'm saying? But at the moment, I'm kind of dealing with it okay. I'm getting stuck into like my work, music, and the TV, and I'm completely shutting out the C word. That's what I call it, the C word.
Yeah.
Completely shutting it out. And it's like we wake up in the morning and, you know, we watch old Columbos and things like that. And, you know, things that just kind of like made me feel happy when I was young. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
all these old runs, and then I'll catch up on the old sports. And I could go like half a day without even thinking that there's some crazy shit going on outside. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's how you know, you might say that's ignorant or whatever, but everybody needs their own way to go through this.
Yeah, everybody's got their own way of dealing with it, haven't they?
Some people need to follow the news to keep in touch and find out what's going on. My way of dealing with it is completely shutting it off. And that makes my mind kind of just like being able to just be free and focus on the positive things, because I can't affect what's going on out there. So I just focus on positive things, and I can connect with my artists, check in with them. We talk about projects, what's next and everything. There's no kind of like, oh, what's the point in doing this? Or no, we just continue, because if you start thinking like that, then you kind of have lost the will to, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, okay, you know, a lot of promoters would be saying to me, oh, we're going to change this date and here's a new date. And I kind of take that with a pinch of salt at the moment, because I'm not really interested in no new dates at all or nothing like that, because I just don't know when this is going to be over. So I think it's very kind of like weird to start talking about, oh, this is the new date for this gig or whatever, because we just don't know how long this is going to last. And when it does finish, hopefully, then we don't know the effects it's going to leave, and you know what state, because I don't think things will be the same as it is again. You get what I'm saying? Things are going to
it's
change.
such a seismic event, isn't it? It's something. Yeah, the world will change. I mean, I think
it's going to definitely change, and the finance, because the amount of finance and money, you know, I'm hearing like American places throwing trillions. I mean, I haven't heard that word trillions for years, right? I mean, I grew up hearing about trillions, but I've never met a trillionaire. I've never even heard of it.
Yeah, now we're dealing in trillions.
We see all these big billionaires in Saudi Arabia, and they're the biggest dogs. So when you hear people are throwing trillions, right?
Yeah,
you know this is some serious shit. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right? And so the economy is going to get affected in a way. People are losing their jobs left, right, and center. And that's why I'm kind of like, you know what? When this thing all boils over, we're kind of fortunate, because people are going to want to party. The only thing is, will they have enough party or whatever? And will certain clubs be still there? Because people are losing their business, and it's going to affect clubland, everything. It's going to affect promoters. It's going to affect clubs that you know, oh, that club's closed down now. They have to sell, whatever. You know what I mean? Because it's going to affect a lot of things. So there's no like, oh, in September we go again. You know what I'm saying? You know, people are going to lost people jobs. It's going to be crazy. So for me, I'm just trying to just like focus on, let's just try and get to the end of this, and then we can decide where we go from there, depending on what sort of state everything is. So to start making too much plans, but I just want to know that we can continue still promoting, pushing music, giving music, because it gives people joy as well, and it uplifts people, and it's something to kind of like, well, for me, it takes my mind off whatever's going on. You get what I'm saying? Because we love music, and you know, music is such a strong, powerful thing. You get what I'm saying? And in times like this, you realize the strength of the music. You get what I'm saying? Because you know, there's you listen to tunes and you start listening to the words and the lyrics, and they might just sort of relate to the what's going on now. So you can embrace certain things, and the music can take you away, it can uplift you, and so it's important. You get what I'm saying? And so for me, that's what I need to focus on: music, and just like, you know what I mean, and my job and my work, and the positive things and the things that I can affect within my four walls, because I can't affect nothing out there at the moment. You know, I don't come out. I've just come out a couple of times to just stock up on food, and I stay in. I don't. I'm fortunate that we've got a roof garden, so like, you know, I can go outside and, you know what I mean, just get out, get some fresh air, get some sun or whatever. I haven't got a dog, so I don't really need to go out and walk the dog or anything like that. You get what I'm saying? So, you know, I just try to just be safe, follow the guidelines. And like I said to you, just like, you know, I think it's 4 days now we've been on no media in the house, and it's really calm. You get what I'm saying? It's really calm. And you know, we just, you know, we watch Bulletproof, all these box sets and programs that we love, and you get what I'm saying? And and that's how I am dealing with it. So everybody might think, oh, you know, I mean, the odd person will phone me, my family or friends, and they'll give me an update, or they say to me like, oh God, what's his name's in hospital, or so and other's died, or whatever. And you know, I'm like, wow, because now it's not just like people that you're hearing on TV about, it's actually people I know are sick, and now people I know are died, and actually people in my family have got the virus. So this is how close it is, you know, whereas before it was something on the TV, well, you know, it was the first
removed.
China, then it was just something in Italy, and then it was something like, oh, it's here in the UK, and now it's people I know, and now it's family, and people I know are dying now, and it's scary. You get what I'm saying? So I need to just shut myself off from that, because you know, if I think about them things, you know, you know, I'm no good to myself.
Yeah, I mean, let's take it way back. I mean, am I right in saying you're from Gloucester originally?
Yeah. Well, I was Gloucester, born in Cheltenham.
Yeah.
And raised in Gloucester.
Yeah.
And
when did you move to London?
I moved to London. At first, from Gloucester. Gloucester, really small town, right?
Yeah.
So
I used to live in Bristol, obviously, and you Donovan, Bad Boy Smith.
Yeah, well, there you go. If you lived in Bristol, so like,
so yeah, I know Gloucester well.
Yeah, so for us, you know what I mean, if for a good night out would be going to Bristol. You get what I'm saying? You know, because there was just one club in Gloucester and not much things going on. You get what I'm saying? So we used to always go like Swindon or Gloucester. Those were, you know,
club.
Those would be the two places that we'd be go to for nights out and stuff like that. And then like, what happens is like, as soon as you kind of get old enough, everybody just leaves. They go to Bristol, or they go to Birmingham, or they go to London, because you get what I'm saying, it's like everybody's looking for that better life and stuff, and it can be a bit, you know, slow in Gloucester. You get what I'm saying? So at first, all my sisters, they went to Bristol, so I moved to Bristol for a while. It was all right. I love Bristol. I still love Bristol now. And you know, if I was to ever leave London, I would say Bristol would be the only place in England I think I could live, because it's just so cool. It's just got everything that I would want in Bristol. You get what I'm saying? It's just like, it's near my family. It's just like a melting pot of good music, nightlife. You get what I'm saying? Everything just kind of like in a bubble. You get what I'm saying? Whereas in London, we've got all that, but everything's so distant, and you don't see people. Like, you could be in Bristol and you're just walking through town and you see everybody. You get what I'm saying? You know, I could be in London and for 10 years, I don't see them. You get what I'm saying? You just don't see each other and whatever, because London is that big. So, you know, so I love Bristol. It's just got vibes. It's just, the energy in Bristol is unbelievable, and the people are great. And I've had some of my best nights. I mean, you know, when we used to, you know that, you
Yeah, well, you
know.
used to play for us in Roughneck Ting, didn't you?
Yeah, Roughneck team. I love Bristol. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I mean, even before that, man, even the reggae days. You get what I'm saying? When I was like into the sound systems and all that, we used to, you know, I used to come down to Bristol and we used to go places like the Bamboo Club. I don't know if you've ever heard of them places. The Bamboo
That
Club.
was a wee bit before my time, but yeah.
Yeah, and Gwen Street Blues, right?
Yeah, yeah.
right? And like, you know,
Some
all these.
80s things here.
Huh?
80s.
Yeah, yeah, I'm talking the 80s, you get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And the Bristol used to have enough blues parties like Gwen Street, Drum and Roll, all these places like
Yeah.
City Road, pure blues parties. And, you know, I used to have a sound system in Gloucester called Challenger. And we used to come down to Bristol and we used to like clash with all the Bristol sound systems. Like, used to have sound systems like Sebastian and Enterprise and Loco. Don't know if you ever heard of these sound
No,
systems.
no.
These were the reggae sounds that used to like represent Bristol. And we used to, you know, it's like when it's like rivals, you get what I'm saying? Like Gloucester, Bristol, they
Yeah,
used
yeah.
to hate us and we hated them because, you know, they used to look at us like little country boy them, you get what
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying and stuff, you get what I'm saying? So they, you know, they never wanted to take us serious and stuff. So yeah, we had a real sort of hate relationship with
Yeah.
Bristol sound systems, you get what I'm saying? So that's where my love affair with Bristol started, from the early sound systems, going to blues and all them places, Bamboo Club and all them things. And then like eventually, you get what I'm saying, you know, to like going to like Roughneck Tin and the early jungle parties and all that, you get what I'm saying, Eastern and what's the place called, Marcus Garvey, or is it not Marcus Garvey?
Malcolm X Centre.
Malcolm X, man, them places were crazy, man.
Yeah, yeah.
And
But yeah, was it your sister that moved to London that you moved down to?
yeah, two of my sisters moved to London. To Bristol. Two of them moved to Bristol. So we used to come down there and spend weekends with them, and that was where I managed to kind of like, you know, get away from Gloucester and like experience the nightlife and the vibe of Bristol and the clubs and we used to call them shubbeens, not blues parties,
Shabini, yeah.
shubbeens and stuff. And Bristol still kind of got that vibe as well. You get what I'm saying? I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah. St Paul's is, yeah.
yeah, St. Paul's and Eastern, those were the places that we used to kind of like be all the time. And it was like, it was just like the carnival, like even now, the carnival now is the only carnival in England, I think, that goes on right through the night. I don't know if it still does, but I know like every carnival finishes now at 7 o'clock, but Bristol still carries on right through. So it's just got a vibe about Bristol. I love Bristol, you know what I mean? The energy there is just really good.
Yeah.
So yeah, so you know, that's my early experiences was from the reggae days and all that. You get what I'm saying? And then I came to London. I came to London and moved to London and you know got into trouble, came out of jail, and then you know when I was in jail, got into kind of like funk. And what happened is, yeah, I went to jail because when we first came to London, I used to have a sound system, built a sound system called Clear FM, and we used to just play like house parties and stuff like that. Just it was mostly like funk, reggae, rare groove, and sort of stuff like that. This was like 80s, early 80s, and stuff like that. And then from that, I got like hanging around with the wrong kind of people, and we got into trouble, and I went to jail. And then when I went to jail, kind of when I went to jail now, kind of like got banged up with this DJ who was into like funk and all this kind of stuff and every rare grooves and all that. You get what I'm saying? So I was just there like banged up with him 24 hours a day, listening to Tony Blackburn and Robbie Vincent and you know, all this funk stuff and all that. Because I was into reggae, just strictly reggae music. You know what I'm saying? So this was all new to me, and I liked it because I'm into music, and you know, if it's good, it's good. You get what I'm saying? And just like after like 2 years and banged up with this guy and listening to music. When I came out, I decided, yeah, I want to continue like playing this music and stuff. So I'm at home one day and I'm listening to the radio and they're advertising for DJs to come on the radio station, a station called Quest FM. So I said, okay. So I went down there and I said, yeah, you know, I'd like to be on the radio, join the radio station, pirate radio station. It was the real. This place was like just across the road from Tony Williams. This reggae DJ called Tony Williams back in the day, and he used to have a reggae show on Radio London. It was like him and Radigan. That was the only place you could hear reggae music back then. Radigan used to be on Saturday nights, and Tony Williams would be on Sunday afternoons. And you know, that was except for John Peel might play. John Peel would play the odd kind of abstract reggae tune every now and again. You get what I'm saying? But other than that, that was your only reggae fix and all that. So when we was in jail Saturday night, everybody be licking down the wall when Radigan was on. And then Sunday afternoon when Tony Williams, he actually died just, I think about a year ago, because I see Radigan doing a post about it. Yeah, Tony Williams. And so those were good days and all that. And then like when I come out of jail, it was weird because listening to Tony Williams all the time on the radio, and then like when the guy showed me the radio station, it was right next to Tony Williams' record shop. So I was just really happy I like got to meet Tony Williams and stuff. But this radio station was really like, it was in a squat, dangerous, and like you had to go up some stairs. It was an old derelict building, and it was like right outside the where the prostitutes used to hang out, because it used to be in this place called Balham on the strip. It's like the prostitute strip where you used to get this prostitute. So this is a grimy part of town. You get what I'm saying? It's like, you know, you got like people selling drugs, crack. You got the prostitutes there, and then you got this derelict old house, right? And I'm like, yeah. And I went through now, and it's like, they said you got to go upstairs, but they're saying careful because some of the stairs are missing, and if you know what I mean, you could go right down. It's like it was really dangerous. Like you could lose your life just getting up the stairs.
Wrong step.
Yeah, because all the stairs are going missing, and this old building is just like, I'm like, rah. When you get up there now, it's a little makeshift kind of pirate studio and stuff. You get what I'm saying? So Gary M, his name was Gary M, and he goes, yeah, this is the station and blah, 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 showed me around. And he said, yeah, when would you like to start? So I said, okay, as soon as. So I came back the next day with my records, and there was a girl on, and as soon as it was my time to go, she goes, right, coming up next, we've got, and she goes, what's your name? And I was like, I hadn't even thought about that yet. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, my sound system was called Clear. Clear FM, that's what we call the sound system. But me personally, you know, I was just me. I never had a DJ name. And she was like, oh, what's your name? And I was like, Gary. That's my real name. Well, Garfield's my real name, but I just use it as I say Gary. You get what I'm saying? And she was like, oh, you can't be Gary because the guy who owns the station that's Gary M. He's, you know, that's his name, the DJ who owns the station. So we can't have two Garys on the station. So I was like, oh, and we've got 5 minutes left before my show starts now. And she goes, what's your second name? And I said, Bryan. She goes, all right, then we'll say Bryan Gee. So I said, okay, quickly and back. And so Bryan Gee was cool. So I just sat down and I didn't even like that name. I was like, because it's my name, you get what I'm saying? So I was like, that doesn't sound right, back to front as well, you know? Because my name's Gary Bryan, really, but Bryan Gee. But I didn't even have time to think about that. So about, yeah, coming next, Bryan Gee. So she put it out there, you know what I'm saying? So
stop.
So I just ran with it, you get what I'm saying? And so there I was playing like funk and all this kind of like Roy Ayers and all these kind of funky tunes and stuff. That was the vibe at that time, rare groove. We had stations like Kiss FM doing it at the time, JFM, and, you know, Horizon and all these kind of stations, LWR and stuff like that. So that was the vibe on the street, you get what I'm saying? Funk, rare groove, hip and all that warehouse music. You know, Soul to Soul was just kind of coming through, loose ends, all that kind of time. You get what I'm saying?
Late 80s.
Huh?
Late 80s.
Yeah. So I'm there playing all this stuff, funk stuff, and unfortunately as well, I managed to get a load of when I was playing the sound systems and all that, rare groove was really popular and big, and so it was all about, like nowadays it's all about getting that exclusive dub plates and stuff, but back then it was about getting the rare groove tunes, the rarest tunes that no one would have. You had to dig deep to find that Roy Ayers tune or that you know what I mean, that old rare tune.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so we used to go out every day looking for tunes and, you know, tune hunting to find the rare, like old James Brown album or whatever. You get what I'm saying? And Donovan, Bad Boy Smith now, he was, you know, if you know about Donovan, he was a proper soul ed funk guy, you know. I remember growing up in Gloucester and we were just like always rude boys and we were into reggae and all getting into trouble. But Donovan was just always there with his Jerry curl afro and just like, he used to go like up north to Caister weekenders and all them things, and he used to be able to dance and do all the dancing and stuff like listen here, that guy he's got moves like Michael Jackson. That Donovan can dance, let me tell you that, right? But we just looked at that as like sort of I don't know, like I don't want to say just like not we used to just think Donovan's just kind of like all that soul kind of thing because it wasn't our thing, so we just dismissed it as just like pretty boy stuff, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, Jerry curl, the moves and all that time we were just we were dreads and we would just smoke weed and we would just you know what I mean, rude boys. And I used to move with Donovan's brother, so but I just remember Donovan used to have all the tunes, like loads and loads of tunes, loads and loads of tunes. And so like I just went down to Gloucester and just raided his room, you get this, because he didn't want them. He was trying to get rid of all his records at the time. And so he just gave me all of these old rare stuff that, you know what I mean? So as soon as I came back now, I could hold my own against all the big DJs, you get what I'm saying? Because people are like, well, where do you get this tune from? Where do you get that? You know what I mean? Because Donovan had the tunes, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that, you know what I mean? I went onto the station, I used to play all these tunes and stuff, and people like, rah, you know what I mean? That's the original copy, and you know what I mean, and stuff. And so, you know what I mean? And that kind of like, you know what I mean, made me settle in good, you get what I'm saying? Because I had the respect of all the other DJs because they knew that I had tunes as well. It was so, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it just carried on from there, you get what I'm saying? And we was just there doing the radio thing and all that from the
How did Acid House sort of, the conversion to Acid House going to come along?
We was there doing the radio thing and I was there playing funk and all this stuff. And there was this little pub down the road from me called the Normandy. Actually, it's the same pub, if I'm right, where the Brixton riot started from. It was like next door, the family next door had some problems with the police or whatever, and that's where it all erupted. You get what I'm saying? The Normandy was just down the road from me, and I used to, they used to play music in there. So I said to the pub guys, "Can I play in there? Can I get a set, like playing some funk and rare group and all that stuff?" So they said, "Yeah, it's a Sunday evenings. I'll be there playing stuff, playing my funk and everything in there." And then like, you know what I mean? One Sunday now, well, he tells me a different story. I can't remember this story, but some guys come in there now, and I've seen them about. There's like, you know, like what I would class as kind of like boys and that you want to just keep away from. They look like trouble. You get what I'm saying? I used to see them around the blocks and see them around the flats and all that, and I just thought, you know what? Let me just by the look of them, you knew they were trouble. Right, so I just kind of like, and then one night I see them all piling into the pub, so I'm just saying, oh, damn, yeah. So I just carried on, and then one of them had this big dirty scar around in his face, like someone just like knifed him about like 10 minutes ago. You get what I'm saying? It's just a raw, dirty, long cut around his face. So, you know, you don't get those cuts like that for being nice or something like, you know what I mean? I know he was, you know, something went down, and that's the sort of like, I was like, rah. And then he, you know, he started come up to me and start talk to me and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, what's he trying to, because as far as I'm concerned, he's after something which is not good.
Yeah.
From, you know, but he's coming and he's talking all nice, like, I like these tunes and rare, telling me that his dad's got all these tunes at home, and you know what I mean, we're talking music, and I'm still thinking, are they trying to set me up for when I leave here and rob me or something like that or whatever? I don't know, you get what I'm saying? And then like, you know, we're there talking, and I kind of like, you know, I kind of liked him after a while. We're there, and because we're talking about the music, we're just getting on and everything. And I was like, why don't you come and play some music as well? And he goes, you know what I mean? I don't know if I've got time for that. Rare. I said, yeah, man. I said, I'm on a radio station. Come and join me. And so he said, all right. So what's your name? He goes, Nigel. So I said, oh, all right, and cool. So I said, okay, cool. And then like he said he lived around the corner just from me. You get well, his baby mother lived around the corner just from me. You get what I'm saying? So I said, all right. Then I said, come join me on the radio. I'll bring you down the radio station and come and play some music and stuff. And you know, he agreed to do it. You get what I'm saying? So brought him down to the radio station, and then just as I brought him down to the radio station, the station kind of like got raided, so we didn't get to do a show. But anyway, we kind of like hanged out for somehow. I don't know why we started to hang out. So one minute I didn't like him at first, but then we just kind of like got on and we started to hang out and went to a few little clubs and all that places. And then one night we went to this place up in London Bridge. This place in Clink Street. Because that time we didn't, you know, it was all rare groove. Them times you had like Normandy, Soul to Soul, and all them kind of like, you know, Family Function, and those were the parties, Jay Strongman and stuff like that. Those were the parties that was whereas parties, and it was all funk, rare groove, hip hop, and all that stuff. And somebody said, yeah, there's this party over Clink Street. So we went over there now, and we just anywhere to go. You get what I'm saying? So we went over there, and it was like, damn. This is mad, man. This is what's kind of crazy stuff. And like all flashy lights, strobe lights going off in this place, and people just wearing like pajamas, and people think they're looking like how people portray that white Jesus. You get what I'm saying, with the long hair and the robe, and I'm like, what the fuck's going on in this place here? You get what I'm saying? I'm like, this place is trippy. It's mad. You get what I'm saying? And the strobe lights was mad. And for a while, I was like, didn't really know, you know what I mean? But, you know, and then people start coming up to me and like, you're right, mate, and hugging us and all on a sec, you get what I'm saying? And like, giving us water to drink and no, just hold your space, you get what I'm saying? Because from where we come from, reggae parties and stuff like that, people don't do that shit, you get what I'm saying? You even look at somebody too strong and they'll be like, what the fuck are you looking at? Or you know what I mean? You want something or you whatever, you get what I'm saying? So you don't do that. And, you know, it was like, you know, that New Year's Eve feeling, if you go out New Year's Eve and everybody just hugs everybody at 12 o'clock, or if you go to a football match and you're sitting in the ground and someone scores and then your team scores, you don't care who's next to you. Oh, hey, it was that kind of feeling with people I never known, and that wasn't for me coming from reggae on reggae. That was unheard of because, you know, it was like social distancing in them times. So you get said in the reggae, you know, it's social distance. You kept your space because you step on someone's toes, you could get stabbed and killed. That's it. No, I'm not joking.
I know. Yeah.
You step on someone's toe. Sorry is not good enough. Especially if you spill a drink over someone's girl by accident or whatever. You get what I'm saying? There's no, sorry, mate, I was a bit... No, you could die. Man, that's how serious some of them parties were. You get what I'm saying? You know, I've been to blues parties where, you know, all of a sudden you're in the party and then like 20 man would just run in and say, this is a stick up. Everybody give me your money, your watch, your whatever. And they just rob the dance and they're gone. And you just deal with it. And the next week you go to another blues dance because that's, you know, that's just life. That's how it was. You get what I'm saying? I see enough dancers get robbed.
Yeah.
Watch, everything, ring, your wallet, and they're gone. Right? So, you know what I mean? So, this is, you know what I mean? This is a complete different kind of crazy thing. And so, I'm sorry, I've lost it. Where was I again?
Yeah, you're talking when you go into the acid house parties. I mean, you must have.
The acid house parties and all. So I'm seeing all this love. I'm feeling this love that I don't feel in the party and stuff. And I'm hearing music that sounds like the washing machine's gone wrong. You get what I'm saying? And it's breaking down. What is this? You get what I'm saying? So the music is completely out of this world. The lighting is just like doing my head in because it keeps flashing like someone just keeps turning off on and off a light. You got these people that think that they're I don't know, just like going on like with these long gowns and long hair and then all these round fins on their t-shirts, you know. So we didn't know nothing about acid and all them. And we, you know, worst of all, we didn't know people were on this mad drugs. I should have known straight away because, you get what I'm saying? But because it was a different world from us, we didn't know that never even ecstasy. Well, never heard of them. We smoke weed and drink Canai, Thunderbird, and Special Brew and Tenants. You get what I'm saying? So we don't know nothing about ecstasy and MO nitrate or whatever you want to call them things. So you know what I mean? So this is a complete different world. But you know what? The whole mixed up of everything just kind of worked in a weird way. You get what I'm saying? It was just like, we like this, is different, but we were kind of like, it's all right, you know what I mean? There was a little vibe in there and stuff. I don't know if it was maybe because it was just like just a completely different to what our normal thing. And so we decided to, at the time it was a sound called Shock Sound System. I think they're still going about. Ashley, what's his name? Ashley Beadle was part of it. And then there was another guy DJing called Evil Eddie Richards, which, you know, he was a very big acid house techno DJ. Yeah, and people like that, and they were DJing in this party and stuff. So we went back again, and then we decided to start a new radio station in my house. So we started a new radio station, and we started to like introduce some of this music into our sets, and then it gradually it just completely took over our sets, because it was weird, because at that same time, right, you had people like Fabio and Groove Rider and Dave Angel, Booker T, all these guys, right? They were all from Brixton as well and in the area, you get what I'm saying? I never knew them, but we were all kind of playing that same rare groove, funk. It was the sound of the street, so everybody was kind of doing that kind of stuff at the same time, you get what I'm saying? And it was like, it was weird. It was like they never actually came to that party, but it was like the change of music in London from that rare groove funk. It was like this acid house thing started to kind of like get into everybody's sets and influence everybody, all the DJs that kind of really kind of wanted to put themselves out there and learn what was next, or whatever was interested in, you know what I mean, learning the next thing. And they were on us. We started a station in my house it was in my bedroom, and we called it Lightning, and it turned into Passion. You get what I'm saying? So that was in my bedroom. And at the same time, these guys at the station, Fabio, Groove Rider, Dave Angel, Booker T and all that, they were on a station called Phase One, and that was in Brixton as well. And so they were playing all this funk, acid. I mean, they were playing rare groove at the same time as us. And then all of a sudden, they were playing this acid. It's like, it was just all of a gradually, everybody started to kind of like get into this acid house thing and stuff. So that was kind of really cool. So that's how I kind of got to kind of get to know these guys, Fabian Groove Rider and Dave Angel and Booker T and everything, because we kind of all kind of went through that kind of movement together.
Yeah. I mean, fast forward a few years, obviously the kind of the breakbeat hardcore, you must have kind of followed that path, and then that kind of developed into kind of darkcore, and then slowly kind of jungle drum and bass. I mean, kind of V's been going since 1993. Can you tell us a little bit about the early days?
Yeah, well, V is see, everything just kind of happened, and for me, when I look back on it now, because at the time you're just kind of moving forward and all that, so you don't think about it. But when I look back on it now, I'm just thinking, you know what, some things are meant to be, and it's my label and all that. But I just do feel like V has been a very special label for the drum and bass scene, and the way everything is just come together. It was just like you couldn't have planned it. You get what I'm saying? It's just perfect. You get what I'm saying? It was just like everything just happened naturally and just worked naturally. You get what I'm saying? And just everything just, you know, sometimes people say to me, "Oh, do you like give us some advice?" And I can't really give them that much advice, because the way our V came together is not normal. It's not natural. It's not like, you get what I'm saying? You know, I was there working at Rhythm King Records, doing club promotion, like mailing out tunes like Hurt You So, Shut Up and Dance, DJ Hype's early stuff. DJ Hype used to be under the alias of Dr. K. That was his name before DJ Hype. And and Rebel MC and Street Tough, all them sort of stuff. That was my job, mailing out all these stuff. And things from Music of Life, Hijack stuff, all these kind of like early dance, whatever, you get me saying, you know, that was my job. And you know, I was going out to places like Rage or wherever it was and bringing Fabio acetates or test presses and promos of all these stuff, you get what I'm saying? So that's kind of like, that was my job. And then going out to raves and everything, and then you know, everything was going great at Rhythm King. They even gave me my own label, because what happened is, before they gave my own label, right, I was kept telling them, listen here, man, you need to sign this, you need to sign that. And they wouldn't listen to me. And then I said to them, there's this label from Belgium called RNS, you need to sign it, you get what I'm saying? And they done a deal with RNS in Belgium. We've got Renard, the guy who owns it, Renard. And he came over and we did a deal with them. And so everything that came out on RNS, we put it out on RNS UK, which was Rhythm King, but we just to kind of make it still look like RNS instead of putting Rhythm King all over it, because it would have looked a bit, you know what I mean? People wouldn't have took it so serious if it had, because Rhythm King was known for S Express, Betty Boo, and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Everything all right?
My daughter's decided to pay me a visit.
Oh, you wanna stop and come back?
No, it's fine. Because
Oh,
she's fine, like I said.
oh, okay, yeah. So yeah, so
Downstairs, like I'm
so,
saying.
so we couldn't put it on. We couldn't put it, release this stuff on Rhythm King, because the real underground wouldn't have took it serious. You get what I'm saying? So we just kept it looking exactly like our RNS records would look from in Belgium, but just in the corner, you know, RNS UK, Rhythm King, blah blah blah. And so they thought, all right, you know, it did very well. And so we had a few hits and all that. And so that I said to them, there's this next tune called The Bouncer. It's smashing up the place. Let's sign it, let's sign it. And I brought it to them and they were like, oh, because this is like more jungle, and they weren't really getting their head around the jungle so much. Like with the RNS stuff, it was techie, techno and all that sort of stuff. So they could kind of understand that. But when it came to that, the jungle was really early new that time, you get what I'm saying? So they didn't really understand it. And a lot of it was badly produced and stuff. And so they missed on the bouncer. I was like, you need to put this tune out. You need to sign this tune. And Kicks Like a Mule. And they're like, I'm not sure, blah, blah, blah. I'm not sure. And it was Nick Hawkes and all that. And not sure. And then so, all right then. And so XL decided to put it out instead. XL Records.
Yeah.
Your name's not down, you're not coming in. That
That's
tune.
right.
You get what I'm saying?
Richard
The
Russell,
bouncer.
saying, who's just done his biography, hasn't he?
Huh?
Richard Russell. Richard Russell was one of the guys behind Kicks Like a Mule.
Yeah, right.
He
So yeah.
runs XL these days, so.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So right, so XL put it out, and but I was like, it went to number one, big number one, and all that. So Rhythm King was like, I said, I told you, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I told you, I was like, rare, and so and then Moby Gold, the track Moby Gold, you know, that was on import as well, and you know, it's anything that was big, like, you know, because I was out in the clubs, and you know what I mean, we used to go black market and get all the imports and all them things. So when Moby came out, it was a big tune in the clubs. I said, we need to sign this tune. Definitely, we need to sign this tune. And so they got in contact with Moby and done the deal with Moby, and you know, went to number one. So they were like, yeah, you know what I mean? So things was going good, you get what I'm saying? And then they gave me my own label to run now. And so it was called a White Label. And we signed George Kelly. He had under the alias called One Tribe, and his tune called What Have You Done? Where did you go? Is it all you have for me? What have you done? Big sort of drummer, early jungle tune. Dun, 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 dun. And then we signed some stuff from Mark Eitel, which is Irish and Steppers. We signed some stuff from him and a few other stuff and all that. So the label was doing all right. Congress, 40 miles, dun, 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 dun. So we had a few good hits on there, stuff like that. You get what I'm saying? And I even did a track, the Megas project, with one of the guys at Rhythm King, his nephew. He was like, he said, come on, bro, we're in the studio. So we made a lot of EP. And so we released a few stuff. And then there was this act from Bath called Absolute 2. And we signed a couple of their tracks. And they used to come to the office. And they were always like talking about their mates from Bristol. And saying, yeah, man, I got some boys from Bristol making some really good, because they knew I like jungle. They're making some really good stuff. But at the time, I didn't really, you just didn't really, there's so much going on. I just didn't follow it up. You get what I'm saying? I didn't think it was like shutting it down, but just never followed it up. And then things got a bit tight at Rhythm King, and so they decided to make cuts. And so they said, sorry, Brian, we're gonna have to cut the white label and cut your labels that you're doing, and make you guys redundant and stuff. So I was like, shit. And so I just took all the demos and stuff with me that came through. And I remember the demo that these Absolute guys gave me. And I remember listening to it one day, and I liked a few things on it. So I listened to it again, and I said to Nigel, man, listen to this stuff. And Nigel said, yeah, it's all right. And then we went to a meeting, a DJ meeting, because we were all with this agency called Groove Connection, run by Sarah Sandy. And it was like me, Fabio, Groove Rider, Mickey Finn, Frost, LTJ Bookham, I think Storm might have been No Bailey and Chemistry. I can't remember. Anyway, yeah. So it's like kind of elite sort of South London clip. Most of the South London lot, like Mickey, me, Fabio, Groove Rider, all from South London. We were all on this agency. And then I was playing, at the end of the meeting, I played some of the stuff to Bookham. And he was like, yeah. Bookham, because I knew Bookham had good ears and all that. And he was like, yeah, this is good stuff, man. This is good stuff, Brian. You know what I mean? That gave me a bit of confidence now, Ian Bookham said that. You get what I'm saying? And so we went out to Music House and we cut some of the things on off cassette. We didn't even have a DAT, right? We cut the stuff first. We cut running stuff off cassette first. You get what I'm saying? And then like we was playing them in the clubs, and it was like, yeah, this tune's all right. It's going off. Let's go and meet the guys. So we phoned them up. Is Ryan, and I phoned him up and I said, yeah, man, I like his stuff, blah blah blah. Got it from the Absolute Boys, and he was just chuffed, and he said, yeah, come down, let's have a chat, blah blah. So me and Frost got on. I think someone drove us down to Bristol. I forgot who it was. Went down to Bristol, met Ryan, and he brought Kirk along, which is Cross. You get what I'm saying? And we both sat down, and I brought Frost along. And that time, Frost was like this big name at the time. You know what I mean? Like, Frost was like Andy C or big name. You get what I'm saying? Jumping Jack Frost. And I brought him into their house. They're like, rah, Jumping Jack Frost is in our house. You get what I'm saying? So for me, like after the job was even just done already, just it's like me turning. It's like some young producer there, and Andy C turns up at his house. You get what I'm saying? He's like, you know what? Where's the paper? Give me this. Let me just sign this shit. Let's do this. You get what I'm saying? And so, we talked, and I said, my plans was to start a new label, and I like their stuff, and I wanted to kind of like release it and blah blah blah. And they were just like, yeah, no problem. Go ahead. They were just like, right behind us. Let's do this. And they're saying at the same time, they were thinking of doing the same thing, and they got this guy called Chris, who's kind of looking after them, and he's going to start a label called Full Circle, and they're going to release stuff as well. So I said, okay, no problem. You get what I'm saying? So that's how kind of V was. Well, yeah, V. We didn't even know the name of the label at the time. You get what I'm saying? I'm there in Camden Town, outside my friend's record store, Oris, in Camden Market, and we're there trying to think of a name for the label. And then there's this record shop in Camden right by the market called Vinyl Experience. So I'm like, that's the name of the label. I just nicked it off the record shop, Vinyl Experience. And so the first couple, if you see the first few V releases, it's not V, it's Vinyl Experience Records. So we ran with that, and Pressed Up Ronnie's the first EP. Yeah, let me go back anyway. Ryan was Ronnie, and Kirk obviously was Cross. You get what I'm saying? And then they said to me like, yeah, there's more of us as well. There's another one called Die.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And then Cross told me that there's another work called Sov as well. And you know, he said we all make music together. And you know, Cross told me that he used to do stuff with Sov under a different name, Fresh Four.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, and then when he told me that, I was like, oh yeah, because I remember I had the record Wishing on a Star, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Featuring Lizzie on vocals, and it came out on Virgin Records. I think they'd done that with Cross's brother as well, you get what I'm saying? So
Right.
I think it was Flynn, Cross, Sov, Lizzie,
Mm.
and man, I'm not sure who else was in, but so when I was like, oh yeah, I remember that tune. It was a wicked. I'm wishing on a star. It was a wicked cover.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what I mean? They kind of like, you know, at that time it was like that soul to soul vibe kind of breaking through and all that. You know what I mean? So it fitted right in and stuff. And so I was like, yeah, okay. And they said, yeah, they're all making beats together and everything. So I just said, all right, let's do this, man. All of us, you get what I'm saying? And so that's just kind of how V started. I just kind of like didn't know these guys, but we just went down to Bristol. We just connected with them. Just like it just felt like it was meant to be. It was nothing difficult, nothing hard. Everything was just easy going. The guys just gave us music, and I think once they knew that people were interested in their music, because it's the same old story, you know, that was just one tape we had, but when we went down there, we just discovered that they had lots more music, you get what I'm saying? But they just had no outlet for it. They were just making music.
Yeah.
No one wasn't playing it, no DJs, they didn't have no big DJs or whatever playing it. So it was just like, maybe they weren't really getting that inspiration or whatever, or knowing what was good or whatever, and no one telling them like whatever. So once we were there, kind of like telling them, yeah, this, them, that, and they knew that there was an ends as well to what they're doing now. They weren't just making tunes. They knew that if they could make a tune, it could get played by Jumping Jack Frost or Fabio or Groove Rider or Bryan Gee, and it can come out on a label. So that just changes the whole mentality of an artist. Because, you know, I meet a lot of artists and they just make tunes every day. But once they got a plan, or once they're part of a plan, or they've got some focus of where their music's going direction, and they hear people playing their music, it completely changes them as an artist. You get what I'm saying? And then they get more inspired, and then they can make music, proper music. You get what I'm saying? And make music like for that. There's a focus of what they're doing now. You get what I'm saying? They know like, oh, right, Jumping Jack Frost, bright. They know what vibe to do when they're in the studio now. It's not just going in the studio and just making a tune. They know like what to do. And so everything just kind of like kicked in from there. You get what I'm saying? And then the guys just started to make incredible music. Well, at first it wasn't incredible music. It was good music. Cross's EP was first, V's, and it was under the alias of, because he didn't call himself Cross at first. He called himself The Deceivers. And you know what Cross is like. He's dark as shit. You get what I'm saying? And experimental and like, so the first EP was some real dark, crazy, mad shit that just like went over everyone's head. People was like, rah. So I don't think it really like captured the audience that we were trying to get to at the time. We was giving it to DJs, and it wasn't like, because that time jungle was, you know what I mean? You had to just like your Kemet and your IB for records, and jungle was there was a sort of style of jungle, you know what I mean, that people kind of like bought into, and Cross was on some science, you get what I'm saying? And I don't think they were ready for it, because no one ever heard of Cross, the Deceivers, or nothing. It was just so it just kind of went
people as well. And,
yeah. So the second EP was Ronnie's EP, and Ronnie was a bit more going towards the sound of what was out on the streets at that time. You get what I'm saying? And there was a track called All the Crew Big Up. It was a 4-track EP called Made to Fit EP. And one of the tracks, All the Crew and Big Up, kind of got really Cool FM and Brocky and all them DJ Ron, and because those were the big DJs. You had things like Roast and Champion Telepathy and all these big parties, and Cool FM was the soundtrack. You know what I mean? And jungle was like, you know, that big thing that's coming through. So yeah, Cool FM and all them boys, and they all got behind this all the crew big up. Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun, dun. And so that kind of like set it all off. And then there was another track on the EP called Detrimental and Agility, and which he done with Die. But then times the Die was in the background, you get what I'm saying? I didn't really know much about Die, you get what I'm saying? So, but this track called Agility, and sort of got people started to like, yeah, you know what I mean? Sort of, this stuff's all right. And then at the same time, there's this kid living round the corner from us in Brixton. But apparently there's this guy called Raf that we used to go raving with. And he just lived around the corner from me. And he's always telling me, oh man, you know, my little next door neighbor, man, he's making tunes and blah, blah, blah. You need to have a listen to him, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, all right. And then, you know, I said, send me some, what's his name? He says, oh, his name's Carl. And so I says, okay. And, you know, he loves what you guys, he's a big fan of you and Frost and blah, blah, blah. But he wasn't really old enough to go out to the raves at the time, you get what I'm saying? But he used to hear the tapes and all them things from the raves and all that. And he was just like there in the studio making tunes, like, you get what I'm saying? And really rough at the time, but there was something there, even in the early stages of his tunes, you get what I'm saying? That you could hear something, and you know what I mean? He was making tunes with people called, my other friend called Terry, who were the Deceivers. They were making tunes together and stuff, and you know, he was always giving me his tunes, and I started to go around and meet Carl and got to know him and all that, you get what I'm saying? And he was just like,
Dillinger, obviously, we're talking about.
huh?
Dillinger, you're obviously talking about.
Yeah, Dillinger, yeah. So he was like a big fan of me and Frost and Fabulous, all of us, you know what I mean? And he was always into Shaka and reggae and all them things. So all that influence was coming through his tunes and stuff like that, you know what I mean? And so he was them times that he was putting out white labels and just trying to just get his music out there and stuff. And I said, yeah, I'm starting a label and blah, blah, blah. So he said, yeah. I started giving me tunes, you get what I'm saying? And just saying, yeah, just have what you want, So the third release was Dillinger. It was a track called I Can't Wait No More, and Chapter 19. Yeah, that was the so the third, yeah, that was Dillinger's 12 on, and at the same time, he was putting a few stuff out on white label as well, just getting his name out. And he had a good little sound as well. You get what I'm saying? Which people were like, okay, so you know, that's how kind of V kind of stepped up. But I think it wasn't only until number 4, Ronnie gave us a track, and we was like, wow, because this track, it was like, it had like rare groove, and it was like liquidy. Well, that word wasn't around them times, but it had a liquidy, slower, sexier vibe. It wasn't so aggressive like other jungles and like with that amen and that whatever. It was very just laid back and soft, and but it still had the energy and the B line and all that. And we just call it the Omar tune because it reminded us of It's Nothing Like This. So we just call it the Omar tune. You get what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden we just someone came up with a name and they call it It's a Jazz Thing. You know what I'm saying? And you know, we give it to Bookham and Fabio and everybody, and you know, it started to just smash up the dance everywhere. People were just loving it because it was different from all the other jungle tunes around. You get what I'm saying? The girls that were loving it. It had something like when the DJs used to play, it used to like one for the girls, them. You get what I'm saying? And it was just dun, 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 dun. So it was really sexy, you get what I'm saying? But the beat still was ever dun, 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 ah. And at the same time, they made another tune with that same vibe, but they said, we're keeping this one for ourselves and we're going to put it out on our label. And so, you know what I mean? And that was Music Box.
Yeah.
So if you listen to that, they were the same kind of vibe as, in fact, I think Music Box probably was a bit better. I preferred Music Box. Well, I'm not gonna like judge them because they were both great tracks. You get what I'm saying? But Music Box. So you had Music Box and you had It's a Jazz Thing.
Yeah.
And this is when people started to kind of like say, yeah, who are these Bristol guys? And it sort of, the label kind of got more recognized because everybody was like, look at this tune. Well, Music Box especially, you couldn't go out, and everywhere you go out, you would hear, this dream is over. Boom, boom. You get what I'm saying? So it just kind of smashed up the place. Got Ronnie's name out there and Dai's name out there. Got the labels out there, and just kind of like got us kind of like the people to see what we were doing. You get what I'm saying? And then like Cross kind of like said, all right, enough of this science stuff for now. You know what I'm saying? And he came with like Set Speed. So, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, when Set Speed came, you know, it just tore up the clubs, and it was a big, massive jungle anthem. And then, you know, at the same time as well, Frost went into the studio around about that time with Dillinger, and he made The Burial, Big Bad and Heavy Leviticus. And so everything just started to come, you know, just so we thought to ourselves, this tune, it doesn't fit on V, because it was very like, had a reggae vibe to it, very ragga reggae vibe to it and stuff. So we said, it doesn't really, we want to kind of keep V on a different sort of direction with the music, you know what I'm saying? So we decided to start a new label, and we call that Philly Blunt. And that's where you know, The Burial went on that label. And then like, you know, when the guys then decided to do something heavier like Warning, or when Dillinger decided to do something like Gangster or something bashier, you get what I'm saying, then that was the outlet for that. So, you know, these were big tunes, and so everything just kind of grew at the same time. The V tunes were smashing it, the Philly Blunt tunes were smashing it, the tunes on Full Cycle were smashing it, and then they started their sort of bash out label called Dope Dragon. You get what I'm saying? And then, you know, some fire for you know, and you talk about Dope Dragon, some of the baddest jungle tunes ever was coming out on that label. So, you know, we were firing on 4 cylinders at the time. You get what I'm saying? And everything just was just like, every weekend the guys then would just come back with new armor of tunes, man. And
how could you not feel, you know, like,
it was just incredible time at the time. The music that them guys were making, it was just incredible, you know.
I mean, so pretty much from the word go, you became one of the biggest labels in drum and bass, and
it just came straight. It just, you know what I mean. Well, with the music that them guys was making, it was just like, you know, it blew everyone away. It just blew everyone away. It was just like, you know, you had Fashion, and then you had Die with like you know, Special Treat and Angles, and you know, Warhead, and you know, just tunes, man. It's crazy, you know. It was just
25 years later, you're still one of the biggest labels in drum and bass, you know. So how have you maintained that, you know?
You know, it's weird, you know. It's weird because people think that, but you know, there was a few times when the cupboard was empty. That's how I like to pronounce it. There was a time when V kind of went, we weren't having our best. There was a few, like, you know, after having like God knows how much years with the Bristol boys, you know, nothing lasts forever. And then the tunes were just getting so big and so popular and stuff, you get what I'm saying? And then we decided to do the V Classics album, and you know, that just kind of eclipsed it and made, you know, just, and then on the back of that now, people, you know, Major start sniffing around, and then, you know, Talking Loud, you know, said, yeah, we want to get involved and sign the guys, you get what I'm saying? And so they got signed by Talking Loud, and, you know, they were exclusive to Talking Loud, so we couldn't get no more material from them, you get what I'm saying? And so all of a sudden, you know, the releases, we wasn't getting all that fire from them anymore, you get what I'm saying? So it was a hard time, like, going through that period, you get what I'm saying? But we still had Dillinger, we still had Lemon D, you get what I'm saying? And, you know, we had Ray Keith, and we had other people that we were working with at the same time. And then we carried on, and then without them, I mean, they would drop the odd remix here and stuff, but because of the contract that they had signed with Talking Loud, it prevented them from releasing tunes on V or any label, you get what I'm saying? So they couldn't release nothing with us. So it was a weird time for me, because it was like my sons and my babies just got taken away from me, you get what I'm saying? But at the same time, you know, there's always a silver lining, and they had signed to a great label with people who had a great vision. Giles Peterson, you get what I'm saying?
Of course.
And Giles had a brilliant vision. not just to sign them and put music out, but to make them form as a group. You get what I'm saying? And they built Represent.
Yep.
You know, Represent was probably one of the best things ever to happen to drum and bass. You know what I mean? Because
Definitely.
you know, what that did was managed. You know, Talking Loud managed to kind of invest in them, invest into Represent, which we could have never have done as an independent. You get what I'm saying? We could have never ever have gone to that level with Ronnie and take them to that level. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
And so put them in the studio, you know, make them work with other artists and build this act called Represent and tour all over the place and just open up drum and bass to people who would have never have got it if it was just your straight up releases from these artists. But them going on the road and playing live, you get what I'm saying? Just kind of like people like, wow, you get what I'm saying? You didn't have to be a junglist or whatever to feel what they were doing. It was just the energy. I mean, even now, I still say, I don't think, I've been to many live acts and all different genres, and Represent stands up with all of them. Trust me.
Yeah.
You know, people, I don't think a lot of people realize how fucking good Represent was. You get what I'm saying?
I remember seeing
Dynamite, Honor Lee, the energy that,
Dynamite was great as well, wasn't
it was unbelievable. There's never been another drum and bass band act like that. And I haven't even heard anything outside of drum and bass that I've loved so much as Represent. Trust me, man, they were incredible, right? So, you know, I really give thanks that move happened because it managed to just open up drum and bass, you know what I mean, to a whole new audience. You get what I'm saying? And that benefited all of us. You get what I'm saying? You know, we all benefited from that. You get what I'm saying? From what Represent was doing and going on and winning the Mercury and everything. So that was a beautiful thing. It was a great thing. You get what I'm saying? So that was great. So after that, now on the back of that, you know, we started a club night in London at Bar Rumba, and it was there every Thursday night. People would come. It was a really popular night. You get what I'm saying? And we had some, you know all about Bar Rumba. We call the night Movement.
Yeah.
People from all over the world would come to Movement. You get what I'm saying? And you know, we celebrities, sports people, you know, anybody would come down to Movement because it was just that. You know, you just have bad boys, rude girls, students, posh kids. You know, producers, rappers, celebrities, models, city office workers, judges, you name them. It was just the maddest melting pot of people just there. You get what I'm saying? It was mad. And you know, people would like, oh, when I come to England, you know, because I used to DJ and go abroad and stuff. Oh, I can't. When I come to England, I want to go to Bar Rumba. You know what I mean? It was just like one of the biggest tick lists on their thing to come to England. Oh, I want to come Bar Rumba. And so that must have been the same thing for when Petit came to England. You get what I'm saying? You know, he came straight to Bar Rumba. You know what I mean? And he was like, man, you know what I mean? We want to do something like this in Brazil. And stuff, you get what I'm saying? And so he invited us back to Brazil because he said he wanted to start a night in Brazil and call it Movement. And we was like, oh, no. You can't just do that just like that. You get what I'm saying? You know, that's our thing. You get what I'm saying? You know, do your own thing. And he goes, oh, no, because everybody in Brazil heard about Movement. So it was like Cream or something. Or, you know, if you can bring a big brand that is big in London, and then you can bring it to other places. You get what I'm saying? And it gets more respect. You get what I'm saying? Because people abroad know it as this, you know what I'm talking about, like a Cream, or let me see an example, Hospitality, or you know, something big that is a Haywall night, like Haywall, or you get what I'm saying? So that's why he wanted to bring the brand into to Brazil, and we was like, Brazil. All I know about Brazil is Pele and coffee. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even know you guys know about drum and bass. So he goes, well, you need to come see it. So you know, one of my partners that I was working with at the time for Movement called Ado, he went out there and just to go and check it out and stuff. Because I wasn't, you know, I wasn't even interested when he was telling me about this. I was just like, oh, just another place, whatever. And I'm just busy doing other things as well. So it was nothing special to me. It's just some place, Brazil. Ah, fuck what's happening out there, mate. You know what I mean? Nothing can't be happening. Oh, I would have known about it. You get what I'm saying? So I just dismissed it and stuff. You know, I mean, Ada went out there probably just on the chance of a free holiday, basically. And, yeah, you just, you know what I mean? You know, you've been to Brazil with me, innit? So you know, right? So what I'm talking about, we was there together in Scully's. But anyway, so Ada went out there and he's come back. He said, "Why, Bryan, you guys need to come out here, man." I said, "Why?" He goes, "It is proper. They got a scene out there and blah. You know, it's worth checking out and doing something out there." Because Ada and Oliver, they were always up for kind of like expanding movement and taking it. You know what I mean? Making it bigger. So they were just like, "Yeah, let's do this." You get what I'm saying? So they decided to set up a night for me to play out there. You get what I'm saying? You know, so I could go out there and play and I could see the night. And there was this club called La Vie. Yeah, there's a club, and it was weird because it was on a Thursday night, exactly like when we do our night in London, Bar Rumba. It was a Thursday night, and it was the same size as Bar Rumba, right? And when I went in there, it felt like Bar Rumba in a hot place. I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, and like all these Brazilian DJs, they're playing in this club and stuff, and they're playing good. They're like mixing and they're playing tunes and stuff, but it's still got the feel of just like, you know, the tunes are a bit like not, you know what I mean, old and whatever, but the mixing and the vibe and the energy in this place is just great. You get what I'm saying? And I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna kill this place now. I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm there, I got my big bag of doves and all that shit. I'm ready to just like tear down because I'm thinking this place is, you know what I mean? It's proper. This is a proper drum and bass crowd. Like, you know, they know their stuff out. Because I've been to places before, and like Iceland and stuff, and other places before, and you know, people didn't get it, and some Italy and places, and sometimes we find it a struggle, and we, you know what I mean, like people just didn't connect with what we were doing, and but this place is, it was set up ready. It was just like everybody knew about drum and bass, and everybody was excited, and people were like looking at me, and you know, as because they knew I was guest DJ and from England, and everybody, hey, hello, and want to touch me, and I'm thinking, wow, I'm feeling ready now. I'm like, yeah, what time am I on? And they goes, oh, you're on later on first. You got this DJ, and then we got DJ Marky coming up after. I'm like, who? On DJ Marky, I was still not even bothered thinking about whatever that meant. Just it's just a name, Marcus. I'm just there, like, you know what I mean? Just thinking, I'm ready to just tear down this place now, man. Show these people what time it is, man. You know what I'm saying? And then like, I'm like, this DJ's scratching up the place, and I'm like, right? So I'm like, what's going on in here? You know what I'm saying? And I'm seeing all the crowd going, boy. I'm like, hold on, I'm not on yet. Why the hell could I make it? Yeah, what's all this noise for? I'm still here, I'm not even, you know? I'm like, bro, someone's trying to steal my thunder in this place, yeah? I see this little kid, skinny kid jumping up and down, scratching, and but he's smiling as well. I'm like, what? Wait, hold on, because you know we were all serious back them days. You get what I'm saying? You know, you had Fabio Crew, all the jungle DJs. We didn't smile. We just like snarled at people and just looked mean and moody. You get what I'm saying? Like, you know, because you don't smile. Bad man no smile, right? So we just kind of like did our thing, and like this geezer's, he's laughing and waving to the crowd while he's DJing, and just I'm like, what's going on here? But he is mixing like, I mean, the only person I've heard do something like that would be DJ Hype, and he'd be just like, but this guy took it to a complete different level. It wasn't just like you're scratching like what DJ Hype would do, just like cutting in a tune. This guy was picking up turntables and all of them sideways, and I'm like, whoa, what the fuck is going on here? Like, I'm in trouble now. You get what I'm saying? I'm like, rah, what? You know what I mean? This crowd is hyped already. It's gone crazy. And like, I'm thinking, wow, this guy is fucking sick. I've never seen a jungle DJ like this in my life. Right, I'm there watching him, and then he sees me watching him, and so that gives him a bit. That gives him more. He sees me watching, like, yeah, you think you're coming to my house, and you know, I'm gonna show you that you can't just walk in here like Billy Big Boys and give it like, you know what I mean? Which is good. You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
he's up his sin.
Yeah.
And so all right, cool. Okay, I've got something for you. Don't worry, right? So, but I don't like this guy, right? I don't like this guy at first. I'm like, oh yeah, you know, there's a little competitiveness there. So I'm like, but he's fucking bad. I like his skills and all that.
Yeah.
Only because you know, luckily me, you know, I'm coming with a big, you know, Bryan Gee. I'm coming with a big bag of dubs, right? Dubs that no one's got, no one's heard, and no one's getting for a long time. You get what I'm saying? So that, because I haven't got the skills, but I'll just come on and just like watching windows,
Yeah.
clear skies, and this is jazz, and just throwing down dub after dub after dub after dub, and you know what I mean? I'm just like, yeah, you might have the skills, boy, but you know what I mean? You haven't got these tunes, you get what I'm saying? I was drawing out tunes and stuff, and like, I just had a wicked night, and then I was like, you know what, boy, you know, we got to bring you back to England. To Mark, you've got to bring you back to England, man, because I've never seen this and I know people in England are gonna go crazy when they see this. You get what I'm saying? So we decided to bring him to London. You get what I'm saying, and make him play at one of our movement nights. And then he came and he played that movement, man. And when everybody saw him, everybody was blown away, just like I was, but even more because like, rah! He was shocked. And you know what I mean? And I remember like a lot of jungle DJs didn't like it. It was like, why are you bringing him over here for? He's just gonna take over and I don't want to name the names, you know, but there's still about now. There was a lot of hating for him. No one wouldn't give me tunes to, you know, no one wanted to give him tunes and all that because they saw him as a threat. You get what I'm saying? And now people was like, nah, man, nah, I don't want to give him no tunes. And they're warning me, saying, this guy's going to get bigger than you if you don't care for Bryan. I'm like, you know, you know what I mean? Because I've been the biggest DJ has never been what, for me, a buzz or whatever. I've just been happy to just have my, you know, do my thing. But I've never ever classed myself as the best DJ or whatever, because I know I'm not. You get what I'm saying? Technically, there's always been better DJs out there than me. You get what I'm saying? And like, you know, I've come into this thing and I've always looked up to people like Fabio, Groove Rider, them guys with their long time, you know, doing their things on a bigger platform, Jumping Jack Frost, all them man, you get what I'm saying? You know, Kenny Ken, you get what I'm saying? They were all out there before me, you get what I'm saying, doing their thing. So I was like, you know, I never ever thought that, you know, oh, I have that competitiveness. Yeah, I want to be up there, but not like you're hating on somebody because they're, or whatever, you get what I'm saying? Or, so it didn't bother me, you get what I'm saying? I just thought, you know what? I've always been about bringing people through, you know, as I do with the artists, as I did with my job at Rhythm King, signing tunes, and you know, it was always just bringing something to the table, and just letting people hear new music or whatever, new artists is. So that was always for me what I like doing, and I get joy out of. You get what I'm saying? So.
I mean, we've talked quite a lot about the past. I mean, probably a good time now to talk about the future, which is also the name of your new compilation. I mean,
Yeah.
in a nutshell, what can you tell us about it?
Future album for me is just like a snapshot now. You know, it's like 3 years ago, we were gonna do this. No, but when we were 20, when we was 20, we was gonna do this. But you know, at that time there, the artists, the people, and the music that I wasn't it wasn't so where we are now. And at the same time as well, V wasn't in such a great place when we were 20 years old. Like we had you know, we had Marquis, we had Petit, we had Artificial Intelligence, all them boys on the label. Artificial Intelligence decided to go to Metalheads and sign with them. Mark and Petit and all that. Marquis set up his label In the Ground and stuff. And so, you know, I lost the Bristol boys, then I lost the Brazilian boys, you get what I'm saying? And the AI, which were big big artists for me. So I was just sort of kind of just signing random tunes from random people that weren't like V artists, but just like, oh, you got a good tune, can I get it? And you get what I'm saying? So just picking here, picking there, picking there, and whatever, and you know, or getting a little tune from Caliber. And I'll tell you what kind of really motivated me and kept me going was Liquid. Liquid came along, and I started the label Liquid V, and I started to get a lot of good music for Liquid V, and so that just kind of kept my inspiration going and vibe going and all that. But you know, it was difficult dealing with like we wanted to do a 20-year V Recordings party, and none of the artists were, or all the artists that I wanted to book, even artists that were from V originally and stuff, and like your Marky and your Ronnies and all them guys, and you know, they all kind of like had their agents and managers, and you know, no one wasn't showing V that much love. You know, they all send me to their managers and stuff, and you know, I was just coming across brick walls. You get what I'm saying? And you know what I mean. So I just thought, nah, you know, this is not going to happen. You get what I'm saying? And so I just kind of left it on the back burner. And then when we turned 25, I just thought, you know what, you know, things had changed. You know, I'd been working with people like Level 2 and DJ Chap, which are Alibi, and you know, they kind of like matured as artists, and there was L Side, and Eve sort of kind of matured as well. And then I had people like Command Strange, and I'd been working with Serum, and I had Paul T and Edward Oberon working with me as well. So you know, I had MC Track, and so I feel like I had the music around me, and a new team around me, which was getting respect. The label was growing, the artists were growing, the label was growing, and V was kind of getting its mojo back again. You get what I'm saying? These guys were bringing that vibe back to V again. You get what I'm saying? You know, they were bringing that, they were buying into the V sound, but just, you know, updating it and doing it in their style. And you had like Command Strange starting to kill it, Paul T, Edward Oberon, Track, Alibi. And so it felt right. And then at the same time, you know, I was doing a lot of work with Serum. I never managed to sign him, but Serum, you know, we were working with Serum for years and Blade Runner and stuff. And so I had all these people around me, and I said, yeah, let's do this album and stuff. So everything just felt like the right time to do it and natural, and the music was right. And so I just said, yeah, let's do this 25 years album. And I wanted to kind of like I wanted to get tunes from all of the old artists and the new artists, and I just wanted everything to kind of like roll into one, and like be a sort of a picture of the whole V thing from the beginning to now, all the artists. I just wanted to kind of make an album that embraced that whole beginning to the new artists and contain that V sound as well. So I think I managed to do that, whether it be like not getting tunes from some of the old artists, but getting their tunes remixed, and also the new artists representing with their music. But it still kind of got that V flavor, that V sound. And so I was happy with how it turned out.
Yeah. I mean, you've got one of the best ears for a tune in the business. I mean, how many tunes a day do you get sent?
Oh gosh, I get a lot of tunes sent to me, a lot of tunes, and I wouldn't say that because a lot of tunes slip me, you know what I mean? A lot of tunes, you know, a lot of number ones on other labels came to me first, and I didn't hear it, so I don't want to say it, you know what I mean? You know, a lot of things
How
do
do,
slip out my
how do
hand.
you, I mean,
Huh?
we have a process for listening to them. I mean, what do
Oh,
you
you
do
know, it's,
on a V
you
tune?
know, yeah, it's just, I don't know, you know, I don't even sometimes like this, like great ear for listening, great ear, because I'm just listening, just like just like you guys. I listen to a tune and I like it or I don't like it, and I just think it's you know, it's being honest. You know, I don't like, there's no favors or nothing with V. You get what I'm saying? I don't care how much, you know what I mean, how big you are or whatever. Your tune doesn't come out unless it's good. You get what I'm saying? And I just try to stay true to that. You get what I'm saying? And so I just think, you know, just put out good music. And with a lot of other labels, they seem to kind of go by a certain sound, and we try not to let that interfere with us. Maybe it's because me and Frost, we're not producers, and so we're not releasing the music that we make, and the label is not sort of a blueprint of that kind of music we make. You get what I'm saying? Whereas, you know, a lot of other labels, you know, the people at the forefront of them, they make music, and label represents that style of music what they make. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, and so most of the music they put out would be all like one style of music. You get what I'm saying? And I think a few labels are more opening up now, like your hospitals now, they're very varied now in a few of the labels, but most labels, there's an identity to it.
Yeah.
Whereas with V, you know, our identity is just good music. You get what I'm saying? From your Samba Sims to your Ed Rush and Optical Functions, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know, it's just what I like, you get what I'm saying, to your Samba Sims, to your Nazca lines, you get what I'm saying, you know?
So any new producers out there looking to get your attention with a tune, what should they do? How could they get
Just,
your
well, send it to me, and you know, just send it to me, basically. You know, there's no like no more than that. Just get to me, you know what I mean? And you know, a lot of people do send me music, and you know, the only thing is I need to find time to play it and stuff, you get what I'm saying, or listen to it. And you know, I'm guilty of that a lot, because so much music come to me, so finding the time to listen to it all, you get what I'm saying? Especially now with social media so crazy at the moment, like I get tunes from places I didn't know you could send tunes to me by. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, rah, there's tunes in this little, you know, I'll go on like my Twitter messengers, and there's tunes there. My SoundCloud page, there's tunes there. There's links, the emails, there's links to the people, you know, on my Facebook page, people send me tunes. On Instagram, people are sending me tunes in places on my Instagram I didn't even know I had. You get what I'm saying? So I'm discovering tunes like when the links are even gone sometimes. You get what I'm saying? Because whereas before you just got tuned for your email or AIM.
Yeah.
But there's just so many places now. It's crazy, you get what I'm saying, you know? And then they send demos to the label V and stuff. And, you know, it can get uninspiring listening to like half an hour worth of shitty tunes. You get what I'm saying? To kind of find the inspiration to listen to another half an hour can be hard after you've just listened to like, oh, not good, not good, not good. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? It can be hard, but it's got to be done, you know? It's got to be done. And, you know, I do find some gems and stuff, and, you know.
Makes it all worthwhile. I mean, usually a tour would have a, you know, sorry, an album would have a tour behind it. It'd be a launch party. Obviously, in these times, it's going to be difficult.
Luckily for us, though, you know, and this is weird because, you know, we've been dragging out this album for a while now, you get what I'm saying? And so on the back of it, we've been doing parties for like over a year now.
Yeah.
So all of this has been done already. You get what I'm saying? We've been doing the V nights. We did the launch party at what's the place called? That new place, Steel Yard. Yeah, we did the launch party, and then we actually did another one at Fabric. You get what I'm saying? And then we've been eating all over the country over the last year and a half, because you know, this was like, we were 25 2 years ago, actually, now almost 2 years ago we were 25. So this album's actually late. So we kind of did all the parties and stuff. So we're luckily that it's not affecting no launch parties or nothing, because you know, and also luckily as well that the album has kind of like been on dub, or people have been playing tracks like Moon in Your Eyes and stuff. We've been releasing stuff off it over the last 12 months. And so we're not releasing an album now that really needs to get hammered into the clubs for people to know it, because people know nearly all the tracks. They know Bo Envy, they know Fighter, they know Lambo, they know Moon in Your Eyes, they know Fighter, they know Killer Transmission. They know a lot of the tracks off the album already, because you know, we've been releasing them, some of the tracks off the album. So luckily, I'm glad that, you know, we're not just putting out an album now of new stuff that people don't know, and we haven't got that club land, and you know what I mean, for people to go out and hear the tunes in the clubs because they know it already. And you know, so that has been a good thing for us, which kind of worked.
So it came out last Friday.
Yeah,
Um,
Friday.
what's it been like? I mean, you like you say, most of the promotions got on before this kind of coronavirus madness has happened. But what's it been like
You know what? It's
the
weird because
album during this period? You know,
yeah, because I said to Gareth, my label manager, I said to Gareth, oh no, man. When this all started, I was like, are we gonna put the album back again? Because I wasn't sure if we could release an album
yeah,
while on lockdown. You get what I'm saying? I was like,
yeah,
the DJs, are they gonna get to play it? There's no clubs, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, oh no, and you know what I mean? But luckily, as I said, a lot of people knew all the music already and stuff, and I felt a bit funny. I was like, do we really need to be promoting the album when people are going through this kind of like
yeah,
crazy time at the moment? Money might be tight, people are losing their jobs,
yeah,
people need to concentrate more on food and looking after themselves and whatever
yeah,
than buying up, I'm thinking, and then I just thought, nah, because people are out there and they want the music, you get what I'm saying? They want the music, and it gives them happiness and whatever, and you know, people are just so grateful. I put the album out last week, and the messages I've been getting, it was like, oh, Bryan, man, it's the best thing that happened to me today. It's really made my day, and it just made me so happy and stuff. And you know what I mean? And people have been buying the album, like the box set, the vinyl as well. People have been like, I've been looking on the shop every night, and I'm thinking people are going crazy for this album. They're buying it, buying it, buying it, buying it. So, you know, I'm very happy for the love it's getting and how it's been received out there. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm happy about that.
I mean, you touched on the formats there. You've got the box set. What formats is it available, and where can people
Yeah,
get it?
well, we got it on 4-piece vinyl box set, which is something we haven't done for a long time. And I was a bit scared. I was like,
Mhm.
wow, this is a lot of money to press up 4-piece of vinyl and stuff. And vinyl is not like how it used to be nowadays. But we kind of, because it's, we thought this is something special. You know what I mean? So people are having it, and we did 4-piece vinyl. We did the USB stick as well, because CDs, no one's really doing CDs anymore. So you know what I mean? So the CD thing is turned into a USB stick. So we did a USB stick, and you got the digital download as well. And on top of it now, we just got some merch, some T-shirts.
Yeah, I was going to say your merchandise is on point, man. It's really good.
Yeah, we did the T-shirts to go with it as well. So, and some stickers and some badges as well. So you can buy your bundles as well. So because I kind of, it's not really much DJs. Well, yeah, DJs, but it's more of a collector's thing. This is what you get what I'm saying. Like DJs play USB sticks now, or digital, or whatever, Serato and stuff. They don't buy this, you know what I mean? They don't play the records and stuff. So there's a lot of people just like collectors, and I'm not sure who buys these stuff anymore, because it's like,
Mhm.
you know, it's definitely, I mean, DJs, we don't buy that. I'm a DJ, and, I don't, unless somebody gives me a box set for free, I'm not going to go buy records, because I don't play records out anymore. You get what I'm saying? I want everything on MP3. You get what I'm saying? So, I'm still trying to work out who buys these things, but they're selling. A lot of kids love it. You know what I mean? Buy it for, what I mean? You got the collectors and stuff. People just like, yeah, a lot of messages saying, yeah, I got my V Classics album, I've got my Planet V album, and now I've got this one to go with it now and stuff. So it's people collect vinyl, and and stuff. So they're loving it, man. And yeah,
Got
great
no
stuff.
plans for any live streams, anything like that?
Yeah, we've been talking about that with the trying to like work out what we're gonna do, and I think we're gonna start doing like some kind of V lockdown online or something like
Yeah,
that.
that'd be good.
So all the artists just need to kind of, because this is all new, everything's just happened all of a sudden, and so a lot of people need to kind of get things ready in place at home, like to get the right sound card, the right stuff to do the streaming and stuff with. So I think everybody's trying to get sorted, like get the right microphone and get the right, just
Yeah,
webcam and all this kind of stuff that normally you might not be bothered with, because if you was going to do a mix or do a radio show, you go to the radio station or the studio and get it done or whatever. All of a sudden you got to do everything from home, and not all the artists is like, even me, I had to go on Amazon and get a few things like ordered so that I can start doing live stream now, because
yeah.
I wasn't ready for it. You get what I'm saying? So we'll definitely, especially if it goes on for much longer, we're definitely going to be doing some live stream stuff and yeah, just to kind of keep connecting with the people. And
Yeah.
we started something already as well with like Ask Anything, whereas we just have like once a week we're gonna have some of the artists just go on Facebook Live and
Yeah.
you can just like ask anything.
Engage with the fans.
Yeah, just kind of, yeah, I mean, Paul T did it last week and it went really well. Just like, you know, just ask anything. So just to kind of just keep connecting with the artists and just give them something as well to feel good about.
What's the best way, not just for you and your artists, what's the best way people can support artists during this time?
Pardon?
What's the best way that people can support artists during this time?
Support us.
Yeah, support you, for you, your artists and beyond, all DJs. And, you know,
Weird one because, you know, in this times and all that, you know, people have suggested to me like, oh, Bryan, you know what I'm saying, because we're out of income as well. You get what I'm saying, you know, financially, like,
yeah.
you know, my last money that I got was like a month ago when I went to Amsterdam and played at Cheeky Mondays, and that's it. That's what I'm saying. And I don't know when the next penny is coming in again. You get what I'm saying? So, and this applies to a lot of DJs. So, you know, huh?
Your livelihood.
Yeah, so we're all relying on our savings, you know, and stuff, and you know what I mean, and there's nothing coming in, and you know, people have suggested to me like, oh, why don't you do this thing where? Because I remember like I still I download a lot of podcasts, sports podcasts and stuff, and then there were some podcasts where you know I'd download this podcast from certain people, but they would put out certain editions and I couldn't get them, and I got to, and now I'm getting to find out why, because it's like a patron thing. They call it a patron, whereas you could get some shows free, but if you want to get like
so the people sign up.
sign up, you get what I'm saying, and so people have suggested to me like, oh, Bryan, you know, why don't you make people do a Patreon thing with your podcast? And at the moment, it doesn't sit right with me because I've always done the podcast for free. You get what I'm saying and stuff. You get what I'm saying, and it's for the people and stuff. And you know what I mean. But you know, we got I got like thousands and thousands of people every month subscribe to download my podcast. It's really popular. I didn't even realize when Gareth told me the stats the other day. I was like, really? Like you see more than 30,000-40,000 people a month. So that's like, if everybody was to pay £1 now, I'll be all right. If everybody was to pay me £1, if you're talking how much, 30,000.
The good thing would be to be able to
Maybe I don't want to even DJ anymore. Like, you know what? But at the moment, I don't want to do that because, you know, I want to carry on doing the podcast for free and stuff. You get what I'm saying?
The thing is, people could leave tips, you know, like I said, you could get it for free, but if they feel like, you know, they want to donate something, you know.
Yeah, I feel bad asking for people for money for this when I've been doing it for free and all that. You get what I'm saying? And it's always been it's never been about the money for me. It's always just been because, you know, we get in, you know, the podcast helps the label a lot. You get what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? You know, I feel like I get value out of putting the podcast out, people knowing about all the music we're releasing on the podcast, and so they go and buy it there. So it's, you know what I mean? I'm benefiting somehow by just playing the music on the podcast, people hearing it and saying, oh, I like that tune on V or whatever, and then they go and buy it. So, you get what I'm saying? You know, maybe I'll just keep it like that for now. You get what I'm saying? But you know, if things else go on longer, you know, you might see a few changes because, you know, things are gonna get hard and people are gonna have to tighten up and whatever, and income's not coming in. I know the government's saying that they made a plan now where they're gonna try and make, you know, income available for people, but it won't be coming in for a couple of months now. So but as in supporting, just continue listening to the music, sharing it. You get what I'm saying? Sharing, just spreading the word. You get what I'm saying? A lot of people are at home now listening to the music. I mean, you know, the numbers are up now with my like radio shows, podcasts and all that. Everything's up now because there's more people at home spending more time online. And so you know, just keep sharing the music, you get what I'm saying? And just like, that's all we can do. And just like, ask for at the moment, you know what I mean? That's all I really want from people, to just keep sharing and listening, financially, if they like the music, buy it. But I don't even want to really push them to do that at the moment, because there's still half of me that likes that, people are buying the album, it's flying out, it's #1 in the Beatport chart. But there's another side to me saying that, it's hard times out there.
Mm.
People are struggling, losing their jobs and stuff. And, I don't want to really be trying to let people buy my music and stuff when, that food on their plate, or the rent or whatever, might be, what I mean, for me, especially, yeah, it's this time right here now. It's just like, what I mean, I feel I don't really want to push people to kind of like have to buy my music, listen to it. I do podcasts, you can stream it for free, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've got lots of mixes and stuff, and I'm gonna always be putting up. I've got lots of mixes that I haven't put up before, and I've been holding back, and it's weird. So at this time now, I'm gonna, I've got some real great mixes of sets I've done and stuff, and I'll be creating more playlists and sets and stuff. So just carry on doing that, just like all the artists, they're updating their playlists on Spotify or whatever. So if you just keep listening to what we're doing and sharing what we're doing, for me, that's enough. You get what I'm saying? Because, you know, if you can do more, so be it. You get what I'm saying? We'll be grateful if you want to go out and buy a T-shirt, you want to buy some merchandise, because these are the only outlets now for us DJs or whatever. I know all the DJs now, if they haven't, I've seen lately that they're all getting back their merch things on the go now, because that's income. You get what I'm saying? If people can buy into your label, or they're fans of your label, they're gonna buy your merchandise. So if you can't afford it, support your local artists by buying their merch or something like that. But only if you can afford it, because we don't know how easy money is going to be coming in at the moment, and I don't want people to go hungry because they bought T-shirts or USB sticks and stuff, when at this time, you get them saying, your rent and your mortgage and the food, and people don't know when their next check is coming in. So it's a hard one for me to sit here and just support the music if you can, by sharing it. And if you can do any more, like buy merchandise and buy the music, download the music or whatever, so be it. I mean, a lot of people have signed up to Spotify, so when they listen to the music or when they listen onto YouTube, we get paid anyway. You get what I'm saying? You go onto YouTube, you listen to one of our videos, you go to Spotify, if you're there, we're gonna get money from that as well. So you know what I mean? It's a hard one for me, because what I mean, it's a crazy time right now, and I'm a realist. You get what I'm saying? And I know that when this thing all boils over, we as DJs, producers, we can just jump back. Well, not just jump back on it, because things ain't going to be exactly the same, but people are going to want to party, and so we're going to get booked, and so we will always have a job. You get what I'm saying? Because people always want to dance, and so we can always go out there and get DJ work or whatever. But a lot of people have lost their jobs, lost their companies or whatever, and it's not going to be so easy for them when this all boils over. So be careful on what you're spending your money on, because we're entering a time where we don't know what's on the other side, how it's going to look on the other side, and we just need to be prepared. I think, you get what I'm saying? Because this is the unknown, and it's really the unknown. But just got to keep focused and listen to music. You know what I mean?
This seems like a good place to wrap up. I mean, any final messages?
Yeah, like for me, you know what I mean? It's just like follow the guidelines, and I mean, like I said earlier on, I don't, we've had a media blackout in our house for like 3-4 days, and it feels so good. You get what I'm saying? It's like I don't know what's going on. I don't know if the numbers have increased, trebled, whatever. You know, I don't know, and it makes me feel much more better. It makes my mind feel positive. My mind feels good, and I feel focused. And you know what I mean? I'm enjoying kind of getting on with things like sorting out all my records next door. You get what I'm saying? Like, you know, I keep saying, you know, I've got like Sade next to Jesus Loves Acid, next to next next to Clips, next to Roy Ayers. It's just one complete shambles. You get what I'm saying? And you know, I went to Serum's house, and he made me really jealous because it's like I went, you know, we did an interview in Serum's studio, and he's got all his records all lined up, and I went and had a look, and it's like he's not only just got like your V's and your Rams and your Metalheads. It's not. He's got Metalheads 1, Metalheads 2, 3, 4, 5, V1, V2, V3. I'm like, it's telling me, man. I was like, this is so good. So when you want to find something, it's just so easy. You ask me to find a tune, I've got to look through about an hour's worth of bending down here, there, rare, just to find one tune. You get what I'm saying? And I thought, I need to sort that out. You get what I'm saying? So I've been slowly just trying to get my labels, and you know, I haven't got the one, not that deep yet, but I'm trying to get like, you know, like I've got Represent, like Full Cycle, V, and you know, Inner Ground, and I got Calabar, and you know, so I'm getting somewhere, and I got like Rare Groove, hip hop, and reggae. So I'm getting there. You get what I'm saying? And then when that's finished, I've got like two big massive boxes of DATs. That I'm just, you know, for years I've been telling myself I need to try to work, because they're all unlabeled, and you don't know what's on this and what's on that, and loads of from old Dillinger DATs, Ronnie Dye, Cross, all the boys, so everybody's DATs, and stuff that never came out, and this and that. So
project.
Huh?
Could be another project.
Probably a couple of projects, trust me. So you know, when I finish the records, I'm gonna just like get the old DAT machine out and go through all the DATs and see what gems I can find and stuff. You get what I'm saying? Because I've started this thing called Legend Series now. With the first one is DJ Crust, and the second one is Lemon D, and the third one's Dillinger. And what it is just like we're pressing up like 12 inches of old tracks that never came out before. And we're going to just keep them on vinyl for about a year, because I just think I want to give something for the vinylists first. So it's going to be on vinyl for about 6 months, and then we're going to release them on digital. But so the first one is, I think it's out in about a week or two from DJ Cross. And so I'm open to find more gems on these DATs, and then I can just approach the guys and say, yeah, what are you saying? Can I put this out, put it out? Because these tunes will never see the light of day if I don't put them out, because I know Ronnie's not putting them out, Cross ain't gonna put these tunes out, Dillinger ain't gonna put these tunes out, none of them. They're just like, they forgot, they're just forgotten about these tunes, you know what I mean? And they don't really, they're not bothered, you get what I'm saying? They're just like, oh, Bryan, why are you bothering about these old tunes? I'm like, it's not all, these are history. This is just like, you know, this is history, man, and people want these tunes again, you get what I'm saying? And so happy that we're doing this. So, and for me, it's just like, you know what I mean, just getting all that history out so that these kids and all that as well can learn about the music as well and know the history of the music. And some of the old school heads like ourselves, you get what I'm saying? They sought after the tracks that we used to hear that never came out, because them guys made so much tunes, we just never had enough time to put everything out, you get what I'm saying? We had 4 labels, V, Philly Blunt, Full Cycle, Dope Dragon, we had Chronic as well, and we still didn't manage to get all of it out. You get what I'm saying? It's mad. So, you know, there's lots more. And yeah, that's so you know, lockdown might be worked out to be a
silver linings and all that.
Yeah, definitely, because there's so much that, you know what I mean, I want to get done in this time of isolation, you know what I mean? So hopefully, you know what I mean, we can get some more of these like back catalogue stuff and, you know, keep things moving.
Great. thanks for taking time out to speak to us, and I look forward to seeing you on the dance floor when this is all over.
Yeah, man. Maybe we can get back out to Brazil and there's some caipirinha again,
Yeah,
innit? You know what I mean?
man, that sounds good.
Yeah, man. But yeah, good talking to you guys, Colin, man.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Cheers,
Oh,
mate.
thanks. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.